YouTube, it's your boy Yon Yon. We back. Best that ever did it. Get your cup, get your lighter, get whatever you need. We about to cook up this MLB for Saturday, August 5th, 2023. Man, we got some good teams, good matchups, good pitchers. We gonna find the most best value, like usual. We gonna find the value and we gonna narrow it down to the most value, man. Like we don't gotta bet on everything. We don't gotta bet on every game. We gonna find the value and pick our spots. But let's go over this in-depth ticket. We're gonna go over every game. Without further ado, let's dive right into it, man. Houston Astros at New York Yankees. Yankees at home in this one. You got Justin Verlander versus Nestor Cortez. Nestor Cortez is coming off a 60-day IL. So we don't know what to expect from him coming forward, but these are his last 5 games before he got injured. He was pretty good, man, but he giving up 7 base hits, 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs, and a loss. But other than that, he's been playing pretty good. Nice strikeouts. Pretty good stuff, but we don't know what we're gonna see from him. And this is kind of when Aaron Judge was in the mix. You know what I'm saying? Judge homered. You know what I'm saying? Like this was when these boys were 34 and 23. Like you know what I'm saying? This was a minute ago. That lineup has changed. They're not hitting the same. And we don't know if he's gonna come back and do the Max Fried like the Braves had. But on the other hand, man, Justin Verlander, we pick him in certain spots. I'm not really too fond of him. No, I'm not gonna say I'm not too fond, but I'm not too big of a fan, I should say. He been pitching pretty good as well, honestly. But the most runs in his last 5 games he given up, and his loss was 3 earned runs, which is pretty good. The last 3 starts are all been wins by the run line and against his New York Yankees team, where he went up against. This one he was still on the Mets. He went up against Domingo Herman. Now that game was a 9-3 game. I think we could probably back the under here. I could see a low scoring game on this one, honestly, because first of all, the New York Yankees lineup isn't hitting as well. That's one. Second of all, it's 2 decent pitchers, like decent pitchers on the mound. Nestor Cortez is pretty good. Justin Verlander is pretty good. Like, all right. They've been pitching pretty good as of late. Now, unless the New York Yankees just go absolutely berserk and just score up 4 or 5, and Houston puts up another 4 or 5 or 6, you know what I'm saying? Then that'll get us over the total. But if it's a back and forth game, I could see it being 3-2, 3-3 late, and then somebody win it 4-3, or even 5-3 or 6-2. You know what I'm saying? Like even 6-3 or 7-7. What? Not even 7. We gonna say like a 6-4, maybe 6-4 at the worst. But I'm leaning with the under, man, on the New York and Houston game. And then for the money line, I'm riding with Houston, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm riding with Houston. We took Houston yesterday. You guys could see the scores up here, man. Houston came through for a 7-3 win. Um, Atlanta 8-0. Tampa Bay, we took them as well, 8-0. I left my Cincinnati Reds off the ticket, and I'm glad because Washington came back. We had Baltimore on the run line. They covered. We had the Red Sox, and they blew it, man. Alex Manoah, that guy is so lucky. That guy, I don't like that boy, man. That dude cost me so much money. He's so bad, man, and you guys, if you guys watch that damn Boston Red Sox game, you know what I mean. Alec Manoah is terrible, man. And when you can win 7-3 with a terrible pitcher, it's just like, ugh. Like, man, I hate when weak pitchers get lucky. But anyway, we're gonna say that for another video. Let's keep going. Um, yeah, we're gonna ride with Tampa Bay, man. They just playing a better baseball right now. Better lineup. I would say it's a pretty even pitching matchup, but yeah, New York hasn't looked the same, man. I'll take the under though, more likely than anything. Next up, we got Tampa Bay Rays versus Detroit Tigers. Aaron Savali from the Cleveland Guardians versus Tariq Skubal. Skubal is pretty good, man. Let's dive into his last 5 games. Really only two bad games, man. 11-10 loss and an 8-6 loss. The rest of the games are unders, and he hasn't given up an earned run. That was a loss because his lineup sucks. That was a loss. In the final 10, just an inferior lineup to the Toronto Blue Jays. 1 point loss again, man. And a 2 point loss. Man, the Miami just upgraded too. We're going to get to that game soon. That's a look at Tariq Skubal last 5 games. Last time these two teams met, it was a sweep for Tampa Bay. Aaron Savali, this is what he was doing on the Cleveland Guardians. Against that Kansas City team twice, 2 wins by the run line. Run line win against Chicago and 2 losses. These were his bad games. 2 earned runs for these last 5 at least. Kind of been playing a little bit of bad teams, but you can't really get mad at who in front of him on the schedule. Now here's what I'm taking from this one. We know the Tampa Bay Rays are better than the Detroit Tigers, don't we? Now this is what I want to look at. Like, what is the over under? See, the over under is at 8. This is what I'm trying to look at. Tampa Bay is negative 145. That's not bad, man. I think we might get under this total, honestly. I could see us getting under this total for sure. Like I said, Tariq Skubal is phenomenal, man. He has a low whip, great strikeout numbers, no homers. And Aaron Savali is pretty good as well. I like the addition of Aaron Savali. I will definitely lean under here, but like I said, man, I would think the better players just take the Tampa Bay Rays money line. We're getting a good price. I would see this line more closer to minus 175 on average. Just these guys are still 22-31 at home. 9 games under 500. 48-61. That's 13 games under 500. These guys, on the other hand, 4 games above 500 on the array, and they're what, 22 games above 500. That's a great price. I'm taking the Tampa Bay Rays. Last time these two were up against each other, it was a sweep. Here you go. Tampa Bay leads 4-0, 4-0, 12-2, 5-1. Like, I could see the under coming in. The under came in yesterday too, by a half. The total was 8.5, and it came in at 8 exactly. That's how dormant the damn Detroit lineup is, man. Zero. They put up as much as I did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could say I put up 0 runs, and that's the same amount of shit Detroit put up. But yeah, we're gonna name Tampa Bay Rays on the money line. We don't have to put it on the run line with two good pitchers like that who might be a 2-1 game, or you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not trying to get on the run line, but I wouldn't be mad at you if you went on the run line with Tampa Bay. Like, they're the far better team. I think that line should have opened up at 175 minimum. Like, we're getting great value with the money line. I'm not gonna make it too hard or try to fight for it too much or anything. So let's get to the next one, man. We got Atlanta at Chicago Cubs. Now this is a good one right here, man. Bryce Elder coming into this one 8-2 on his 10 decisions. 3.1 ERA, 89 strikeouts, 1.19 WHIP. His last 2 starts against Milwaukee Brewers, there was run line wins. In his last 13 innings combined, he has 8 base hits. So that's 5 under his innings pitched. And then he has 3 earned runs combined in 13 innings combined. And 1 homer, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts in 13 innings. Before them 2, he was giving it up a lot and often. 2 innings, 2 2/3 innings, man. He gave up 7 base hits, 7 runs. 5 of them were earned, so his defense weren't helping him out in the Arizona home game. They lost 16-13. And against the Tampa Bay Rays, it was a 10-4 loss. And he gives only 3 1/3 innings pitched, 6 base hits, 7 runs, 4 walks, no strikeouts, 2 homers. You know what I'm saying? So, and then the game before that, he pitched pretty good, a quality outing. He pitched 7 base hits and 2 run ball, 2 walks, 1 strikeout, 6 2/3 innings. Bryce Elder's in pretty good form. He could give it up at sometimes against great lineups like the Cubs. I think we got an over brewing here. I'll definitely take a stab with the over. And Javier Assad on the other side, he's coming in with no saves, just as much as me. 3.24 ERA, 40 strikeouts at 1.30 WHIP. That WHIP is a little high, but not too high. I love the addition of Candelario on this lineup, man, for the White Sox, man. The Chicago Cubs. They just been, man, on fire. Like, as soon as I seen them get Candelario, I was like, they did that perfect. Like, they picked the perfect guy. And that's a big blow for Washington to lose that type of hitter because I know they still have Lane Thomas and Abrams who, out to them, but Candelario was one of that like glue. You know what I'm saying? He's like a glue piece. Like he puts the team over the edge. Like man, I think the Cubs are gonna be a force to be reckoned with this postseason. So watch out for those Cubs. I think we get an over here. The Cubs were shut out yesterday, 8-0. We know it's a high success rate of a team scoring a run or at least one or two the next game after a shutout. It's a very high success rate. His last three, his last five outings, he went against the Cardinals three times, and he's 2-1 in those three. But he comes in off this like reliever bullpen type of games. His last game, he went 3 2/3 innings, one base hit, no earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a 6-5 loss. Last three games before that, he won. But a bullpen game for the Cubs. So basically, when I see bullpen games, I'm basically thinking like, if you guys are playing cards, right, and you only got a ace, a queen, a jack, and a 8 card, like the number 8. You got an ace, a queen, a jack, and an 8, like the number 8 card. When I see them doing a bullpen game, they're basically throwing out this 8 card. You feel me? Like their weakest card. Like, we're giving our ace and our queen and our jack time to reform. You know what I'm saying? So let's just give our bullpen a run. That's why I think it's gonna be an over. Bryce Elder's gonna get hit. Is the Cubs aren't gonna get shut out 2 games in a row. If they do, it's pretty rare. The Braves lineup, you guys know how great they are, man. 70-win team already. Out of 130, out of 107 games, they won 70. You feel me? Like Cubs are much more inconsistent, like the Atlanta Hawks are on basketball. They'll win 3, lose 2, win 5, lose 1, win 1, lose 6. You know what I'm saying? They'll keep going above and then go back low. They just keep staying about that medium, but they're boy, don't get it twisted. This is a great team though. But I think they need to let things gel a little bit longer, maybe one more month, and then this team is gonna be chemistry. But yeah, I think we get the over here today with Javier Assad and Bryce Elder. I like Bryce Elder's stuff, but sometimes he can give up that ball early and often, and that on the road against Chicago, he could give it up, man. And that Chicago home crowd love their Cubs. Trust me, I know. And I think we get over that with the bullpen versus Bryce Elder. I'm leaning with Atlanta on the money line as well. I'll pick Atlanta money line with the over. Next game, this is a great game. I've been waiting to get to this game all day. Miami Marlins. Them boys snap, boy. I know y'all seen them additions that Marlins just got, bro. At the Texas Rangers. We got George Soriano. He got 1 save. He coming in with a 1.98 ERA, 26 strikeouts, and a 1.10 whip. Pretty good numbers, man. He's a relief pitcher coming in. It's a bullpen game for these guys, most likely. When they starting them, like I said, they're throwing their 8 card out or their 6 card. When this guy comes in, he gives up 2 runs against the Baltimore in 3 innings. 4 innings, he gives up no runs, 8 strikeouts. That's a great game in a 6-1 loss, though. Still a loss. You know what I'm saying? 4-1 loss, run line loss, run line loss, 1 point loss, run line loss, and then the 8-6 game against Tariq Skubal, I think. Was that the game? Yeah, Tariq Skubal's bad game. He pitched in this game. One inning, 1 base hit, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He got pretty alright strikeout stuff, but it's not too crazy. I don't like the common trend of losing. If his offense didn't back him up this game, it could have been a loss. You know what I'm saying? So it's just not good news when this guy's on the mound. But that don't mean he can't, eke out a victory or hope his bullpen guys after him that comes in does right. But we're gonna look at John Gray on the other side. This Texas Rangers team is for real, man. John Gray coming in 6-5, 3.66 ERA, 89 strikeouts, 1.23 whip. That whip's a little bit high for a John Gray type of caliber starter. He usually goes 6 innings, and he usually gives up at least 3 runs. 3 earned runs here against Boston and a 4-2 loss, run line loss, 9 base hits in 6 innings, 2 strikeouts. Now look, when this perfect example right here, when John Gray gets more than 5 strikeouts, they got a good chance of winning. 6 strikeouts against the Houston Astros on the road. It was a 10-9 loss. That was the Texas rivalry game. He gave up 7 base hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks. 3 walks in this game against the Cleveland Guardians, 3 walks against the Boston Red Sox, and 2 walks against the Astros again. Tampa Bay, they did beat them 5-1. He had no earned runs, 8 base hits though, so a whole bunch of luck. 8 base hits and no earned runs. I hate when teams. I remember the Cleveland Guardians burned me like that, man. They kept getting on base, 2 people on base till like the 6th inning. Every inning they had 2 people on base and no scores. That's kind of what he experienced there, luck. So without that luck, man, he's giving up runs 5, 4, 6, 4. He's not really winning. You know what I'm saying? This isn't their winner that they put on the mound and just expect to win like Dean Kramer is for the Orioles, or people like that. May, I can't tell you how good he was in May, but look at the inconsistency. April, this guy was getting beat up. Then May comes and he just shines. 1 earned run, 0-1, 4, and a still run line win. Then look at June. 2 wins out of 5 starts. 6 earned runs in 2 innings. And they still went on to win because of how good their lineup is. 7 base hits, 5 earned runs, and a run line loss. And look at July. He's 2-2. Middle of the pack. 6 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 4 earned runs. He had 12 strikeouts and a 1-point loss. I'm not trying to back John Gray, man. I just like the additions of Miami's new lineup, man. They just got Josh Bell and somebody else. Who did they get? They got Josh Bell. Damn, let me see. Man, they just got some power in that lineup, man. I wonder how they gonna make that lineup now. But they definitely added some oomph. I like the lineup on Miami, man. I think we get over this total, honestly. Whatever this total is, let me see what's the total. I think we get over this total. The bullpen for Miami is not that bad, but it's not that good either. You know what I'm saying? I think John Gray is in over his head on this one. The Miami Marlins can hit. This is not a team that has a dormant offense. Their offense can put up runs quick. They haven't been shut out in their last five. They have. Rangers score 0 on the 29th of July. Miami's coming into this one losing 2. Texas is coming this one on a 4-game win streak. 64 and 46 versus 58 and 53. Man. Team stats. I just think, look how many base hits these guys get. Homers. Yes, the Texas Rangers lineup is better. Yes. But I just don't know that they have enough strikeouts to freaking keep the Miami Marlins off base. I think we get over this total. It's no line out at the moment, but I'm going to be sure it's going to be probably, well, I'm not sure, but I'm expecting it to be around 8.5, 9. I think we get over this total. It's a double-digit game to me. Both great lineups like Atlanta and Chicago versus bullpen and fucking a hittable starter. Same approach. I'm gonna lean Miami money line. I'm gonna lean Miami money line in this one. Or plus 1.5 runs versus Texas. I know Texas is gonna be the favorite. I'm leaning Miami money line / the run line and the over. Next up we got Toronto Blue Jays who just fucked our ticket up, man, with Alex Manoah. He just gets so lucky versus the Boston Red Sox. We got Jose Barrios versus John Schreiber. Now we both know Jose Barrios is better than Alex Manoah. That's why Alex Manoah was sent down to AAA. Now, since he's been brought back up, he got patched up immediately as soon as he came back, and then he pitched good in about 2 other games, like fairly alright. This was his 3rd game he pitched good coming back from AAA, which was yesterday. And I don't believe in him. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe he's a good pitcher, to be totally honest. I just don't believe it. Now, if these guys, the Blue Jays, can win 7-3 against James Paxton, the much better pitcher. The last game James Paxton faced the Blue Jays, it was a 5-2 win for the Red Sox. He comes in today and absolutely gets murdered and lets Alek Manoah shine. Have a quality start. You feel me? Like, Jose Barrios is 4 times is better than Alek Manoah. Even though he sucks on the road in his whole career, and that's cool. But he's way better than Alek Manoah. And if they could lose 7-3 to Alek Manoah, they could lose to Jose Barrios. I'm not trusting the Red Sox to come out here and rebound. That lineup disappoints, man. Just like the Padres. That Red Sox lineup has so much flavor and like rambunctious, like they so full of themselves, but they're not proving it. Just like the Padres, kind of, man. Like, we know they got swagger, we know they got flavor, we know they got names, big names, Raffy Devers. We know they got What's his name? What's his name? Duran. We know who they got, man. They got some good hitters. They got some good hitters, man. But when you just play like that, man, at home against Alex Manoah, it just makes me just not want to back you at all, man. And I'm not gonna touch this game. I'm gonna lean Blue Jays money line. I think they're gonna sweep them this series because I just don't see the get up for them. The Red Sox. Now Red Sox weren't totally terrible. They didn't get shut out at least. They put up the crooked number, 3 runs. It was good runs, good hitting. They kept getting on base, and then they'll let the guy Alec Manoah turn to double play, or pop out, like stuff like that. Man, it just makes me irritated. Like letting a weak pitcher get away with a freaking. It's like letting a thief get away with a stolen purse, who he just stole from a granny and nobody chasing him. You feel me? Like y'all just let this dude steal this old lady purse and nobody ain't gonna run after him. You feel me? Like that's how it kind of feels when I see bad pitchers thrive. We're gonna pick Blue Jays money line or pass. I'm not gonna overcomplicate that one. I'm not feeling the Red Sox right now. Next up, we got Washington Nationals at your Cincinnati Reds. Now this one is pretty interesting. We got Andrew Abbott. He's 6-2 in his last 8 decisions, 2.35 ERA, 71 strikeouts, 1.03 WHIP. He's a good pitcher to me, man. I like Andrew Abbott's stuff. He looks like a baseball player. You know what I'm saying? Just you could see it in him. Like, oh yeah, he's a baseball guy. Like type, yeah. Lefty. Last game he went against the Chicago Cubs. 3.1 innings pitched, 3 1/3, 5 base hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. He's got at least 1 walk in his last 5 starts. He got as high as 9 strikeouts against the Milwaukee Brewers. He's gonna get at least 3 strikeouts or more. Like he can get up to 6, 7s and shit. But against the Milwaukee Brewers, he took 2 clunkers and one who had 9 base hits, 6 earned runs, and 4 innings. And then the next one was 6 innings pitched, and he had 3 base hits, 2 earned runs. Now after that, he did play Milwaukee again, and it was a 4-3 win for them. No earned runs, 9 strikeouts. So it looks like as he pitches against certain teams longer, he gets better. As the season continues, he's just getting better. You know what I'm saying? Cincinnati is on a 4-game losing streak right now. They just took a clunker, man. They were up early in this game against the Nationals on August 4th. And the Nationals came back fighting like the Nationals do. Even without Candelario, they still been putting up runs. They do have, I think, a bullpen game coming in here. This guy has only pitched 2 games. He's pitched 2 innings and 3 innings against the Texas Rangers on July 7th. He went 3 innings, 3 base hits, 3 earned runs, and 2 strikeouts in both games. He's not really striking out batters. You don't want to come in not striking out batters against this Reds team, especially not at home. Eager to come off of this 4-game losing streak. Much better record. Yeah, I'm going to take the Reds on this one, man. Look at the last 2 times this guy started or even pitched in innings in the games for them. They lost by more than four, or four or more in the last two games he's pitched in. They lost by four or more. They lost by 5 and 4. I'm not backing the Nationals to keep upsetting this team. Cincinnati was already up early in that game. Lane Thomas lifts the Washington Nationals over them by a pair of homers late in the game. You know what I'm saying? But this is the little 4-game losing streak they've been on. They've been getting smacked up by the Cubs, 20-9, 16-6, and then 5-3. But before that, they did take the series at the Dodgers. I think this is what we're gonna see bounce back right here. How they did against the Dodgers. Before that, they lost the series to the Brewers. And before that, they did sweep the Diamondbacks. It's 9 runs and an over. 7-3 and an over. Then you go to the Dodgers, 6-5 over. 9-0, that's probably was over. 6-5 Cubs over. 20-9 Cubs over. And the 16-6 over. Even yesterday, 6-3 is still a 9-point game. I don't want to say we get an over here because I could see Andrew Abbott pitching good, and then it'd be a bad day for the Washington Nationals to put up anything. I might lean under. I'm leaning towards the under, but I think the better play is Cincinnati Reds money line. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds to bounce back on this one, man. They've got the much better lineup. Home crowd advantage. Playing in the daytime where they thrive at. Cincinnati is a great daytime team. I'm going to take the Cincinnati Reds on that one. Back to Reds today, man. They're gonna smack the Washington Nationals. Andrew Abbott is a good pitcher to back. Next up, we got Kansas City at Philadelphia Phillies, baby. Now these Kansas City Royals been on a heater lately. Heater. 7-game winning streak. 7-game winning streak. They're still underneath Chicago White Sox, though, who's on a 5-game losing streak. So you won 7 games in a row without losing. And you're still 7 games behind the Chicago White Sox, who are also miserable. That's how bad of a team you are as a whole. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to come down. This is going to go back to its medium very soon. You know what I'm saying? The Minnesota Twins have been playing terrible. I think this sweep has been really more on the Twins than it was of the Royals playing good. The Royals are playing good. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that they're not, but I think that spoke more about the Twins than it did the Royals. Now, this series against the Mets spoke more about the Royals than it did the Mets. We all know the Mets are good, has a great lineup. Lindor, all of those guys in there, O'Neal. But the Mets have been dreadful. Swept the Mets 7-6, 9-2, and 4-0. But before that, they lost the series to the Cleveland Guardians 8-3, 5-1, and they only won the first game. Before that, lost the series to the Yankees in a sweep. Before that, lost the series to the Tigers, 1-game win. Yeah, 1-game win out of 4. Before that, Tampa Bay Rays 2-1 loss in the series. Yeah, I don't think the Kansas City Royals keep it going today. We've seen the same thing with the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's went on a 7-game win streak a couple months back, and then they returned to their medium. Right now, they're in their medium again. Not the hottest team in baseball again. Like, Kansas City is hot right now. They're feeling themselves. They feeling the groove. They feel like they could win, which they have been doing. If you bet on them money line last 7 games, you will be a good a good guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but today against Christopher Sanchez, you got Alec Marsh versus Christopher Sanchez. I'm not really a big fan of Christopher Sanchez, so I don't like the common trend of losing. You 0-3 in your last 3 decisions. You got a pretty good ERA, 41 strikeouts, pretty good whip. But look at his common trend. He just loses a lot of games. You know what I'm saying? So once you show me that you have trouble winning, I don't like to back you that much. Against Pittsburgh, he went up against Rich Hill. He went up against Rich Hill and lost. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit. Now we all know, man, the Philadelphia Phillies have a good lineup at the head, but towards the bottom of their lineup, it kind of gets dormant. They do have a better lineup than this damn Royals team, man. Royals are not better than them. Royals have just been on the heater right now, man. This dude's been losing to some pretty good teams. He beat the Rays. Then he loses to the outright San Diego Padres. Then he loses to the outright Milwaukee Brewers. He loses to the good Baltimore Orioles by 1. And he loses to Rich Hill by 2. Now let's look at Alec Marsh's last 5 games. Common trend. Lost 5 earned runs against New York in a 5-4 loss. 8-3 loss. In 2 innings, you gave up 4 earned runs against the Guardians. And then you won by 1 point in 1 inning pitch. Probably didn't have nothing to do with him. Yeah, but just look at the offense when he's out there. 1 run, 0 runs, 3 runs to an 8 point. I just don't like the runs scored on offense to runs given up ratio when he's on the mound. Alec Marsh, just like they don't play when he's on the mound. The last time he did play was against New York Mets when they did start that series, and it was he only pitched 1 inning. He probably had no contribution to that win. Gave up a walk and a strike, and they took him out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, two bad guys. Now, this is what you gotta probably do. Do you think the Kansas City Royals are gonna take it to 8 games in a row and win another one on the road at Philadelphia? You're just basically saying that you believe that the win streak continues for Kansas City. You're throwing out the starting pitchers. That's what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you're doing, then yes, we could definitely say, like, I could see Kansas City winning another one because they already won 7. That's everybody's common mindset. Do not fall for this trap game right here. This is a trap game. They're probably going to tweak the lines to make it closer to even or even favorite to Kansas City here. I could see them. Let me see if they got a line out for this game. If they have Kansas City favorite, I'm taking Philadelphia money line. And I could see them doing trap spots to throw off the public's perception. Yep, Philly's the negative 240, so totally not what I expected. But Philadelphia should not be that big of a favorite, guys. Just like yesterday, August 4th, they were a big favorite with Aaron Nola on the mound. a 7-5 Kansas City Royals win. You feel me? I don't think they're that big of a favorite just because Christopher Sanchez is here. You know what I'm saying? He's not better than Aaron Nola. The needle didn't move at all since they put Christopher Sanchez on the mound. Why isn't this closer to a pick 'em? Just because of shit like that, like I still think we're getting good value with the Royals, honestly. Just to take the Royals off plus 1.5, like for them to still lose by no more than two, probably would be plus 110 or something. You know what I'm saying? So that's great value, honestly, with the Royals. The Phillies last five, they just won 4 out of 5, man, against the Miami Marlins. Both teams playing good right now. Who do you think's gonna win? A 36-75 team or a 59-51 team? 15-39 on the road and 28-21 at home. Both pitchers are ass. No wins. 0-5. He has the way worse ERA. 0-3. Better whip. Better expected numbers. Better ERA. Less walks and less home runs with more innings pitched. I think Christopher Sanchez is slightly better than Alec Marsh. And I think the Philadelphia Phillies get their get back today. Like I said, I think the Royals dropped this one, but it still could be a fairly close game. I wouldn't count the Royals totally out. I wouldn't count them totally out, but I see them losing this game narrowly. The Philadelphia Phillies just a better team, better cohesion, better outfielders, better defense, all of that. Like, I just think the Phillies are gonna bounce back. If not, if they don't bounce back, I can understand why. Because they didn't move the needle at all with putting Christopher Sanchez on the mound. After Aaron Nola just got patched up to them, 7-5. I don't see them moving the needle. I could see even more runs being scored here. I could see the over. I think that's why the total's at 9.5. I could see it being an over for sure. But instead of the over, I just like the Philadelphia Phillies money line. But I wouldn't be mad if you take the Royals plus 1.5, just because like the Phillies shouldn't be that big of a favorite, man. But yeah, next game. We got who we got next? Oh yeah, Tyler McGill versus Kyle Gibson. Baltimore Orioles versus the New York Mets. New York Mets have been dreadful. You got Tyler McGill coming in here. One win in his last 5 starts. Last game he went 2 innings. 5 runs are given up and 4 of them were earned. 4 walks. His control is always off. Tyler McGill isn't big league ready. We keep saying this. We keep saying this. We keep saying this. We keep saying this. Tyler McGill is not big league ready. I can go out there and take some millions of dollars and try to pitch better than him. Like, I think I could put my mind to it if I'm getting paid as much as Tyler McGill was. What is Tyler McGill's salary? $750K for 1 year. Yeah, they signed him to a 1 year deal for $750K. You could give me 750K and I will go out there and do, you know what I'm saying? I will go out there and compete. This dude is awful. 9 runs given up. His defense not backing him up. 7 of them were earned. 6 runs, 2 more than is earned. 5 runs, one more than his defense isn't even backing him up either. The only good game he had was against the Cardinals, and that was a 6-1 win. And who was he facing? Miles Mikolas. That's not saying much to me. Let's get away from this guy. On the other hand, we got Kyle Gibson coming into this one. Kyle Gibson's kind of spotty, but he's been pitching pretty good. The whole staff for these guys have been starting to warm up. He got 108 Ks, 4.53 ERA, 1.3 WHIP. I don't like to WHIP, but wins, man. Win. Fuck everything else. Win. That's what these dudes have been doing. 15-2, 6-5 against a good Miami Marlins lineup. 5 earned runs. If Kyle Gibson can give up 5, I think that Miami Marlins game is gonna go over. Like I said, Tampa Bay Rays won, and they were at Tampa Bay. They only gave up 3 runs, and then they only needed 4 to win. You know, when you could give up 2 or 1 runs, you giving your team a good shot to score 3 or 4 or 5, and that's gonna be enough to win. You know what I'm saying? He's going pretty deep, 6 innings. So he's giving his good bullpen a chance to come in fresh. I like Kyle Gibson, man. We're gonna not keep it. We're not gonna overcomplicate it, man. Orioles is about to be hitting 70 wins pretty soon too. These guys are 12 games under 500 on the road. I'm not trying to look to back these guys. These guys are 12 games above 500 at home. Clear mismatch. Baltimore is about minus 190. It's fair. About negative 200. Now that's the line that I was expecting for the Tampa Bay Rays. Or was that the Houston Astros I was saying? Yeah, the Tampa Bay Rays against Tariq Skubal. Just because Skubal's on the mound doesn't mean the Tampa Bay Rays should not be negative 175 at least. At least. Great value with the Rays right now. But yeah, man, I'm back in Baltimore, no question. Tyler McGill is not major league ready. He should be at I wouldn't I wouldn't even I was gonna say he should be at my crib smoking a blunt with me, but I wouldn't even let him smoke with me. How bad he is. You feel me? Like just not even let him hit the blunt type. That's how bad the dude is, man. But Baltimore on the run line. I'll even take Baltimore minus 2.5. Alternate run line. I'll do the alternate on Baltimore down that one. Every time we see Tyler McGill, we're picking on him. Next up, we got Oakland A's at home, y'all, against San Francisco. Now, San Francisco has fallen off a cliff, man. San Francisco has fallen off of a cliff. The series, regular season series, they played 2 games in July, the late July. Giants took care of business professionally. San Francisco is coming into this one on a 3-game win streak. They've picked it up the last 3 games, but before the last 3 games, they were pretty bad, man. Like, they were pretty bad. Let's look at their full schedule. Before this last 3 games against a terrible Arizona Cardinals team right now, we know how bad Arizona's playing right now. This they took a series against Boston, but before that, man, look at this stretch right here against Washington and Detroit and Cincinnati. Now they took two against the worst team in baseball, and the Oakland A's. Then they went to win two against Boston, who's terribly disappointing right now. Then they play a terrible Arizona team. They just been getting terrible, terrible teams and making it look good. Pittsburgh Pirates, terrible. But they've been able to win against the terrible teams. You know what I'm saying? That's their job. Can't get mad at them. Oakland A's is 30-80. Out of 110 games. Out of $110. If you took out $110 at the bank and they only gave you 30, how would you feel, man? If you went to the ATM and pressed withdraw and you put in 110 and the machine only gave you 30, how would you feel? You would be bamming that machine like, where the fuck is my rest of my money at? You feel me? Like, now that ain't like if you had $110 coming out the machine and they gave you 70 or 65. You would still be bamming on that bitch, but not as hard. I got 70. They got me for 30 bucks or 40 bucks. But you'll still be bamming on that bitch. I need my money, of course, but you know what I'm trying to get at? The Giants are just much better, man. Giants are just much better in every aspect. The batting average, higher. Runs scored, damn near 100 more. Base hits, damn near 100 more, almost. It's 88 more. Homers, what's that, 15 more? No, I'm tripping. 19 more, man. 19 more homers. Slugging, damn near 400. ERA is way better. Whip, way lower. Walks, way lower. Strikeouts, way better. Like every aspect, man. Every aspect. In daytime games, these guys are 6-41. Out of 47 daytime appearances, they've won 6. I can't get behind the Oakland A's. Now, Ross Stripling is so bad. This is another guy we like to pick on. 0-4, 5.5 ERA, 48 strikeouts. Lost against Detroit, 10 base hits, 3 earned runs. Beat the dormant Boston Red Sox and beat the weak Pittsburgh Pirates. Lost by 3 runs to Colorado Rockies. I just don't like what I'm seeing from either pitcher here. But I mean, this is much better than what the Oakland A's have to offer, man. With Paul Blackburn coming in 2-2, 4.83 ERA, 56 strikeouts, 1.57 WHIP. That's terrible. You know he's giving up runs. Versus a dormant Boston offense. He lost twice, 4-3 and 7-0. So he played them on the 9th. Then he had much time to prep for him again at home. And it was an even worse outing. He gave up 3 base hits and 2 earned runs in 1 inning. Then he went against them again, 5 2/3 innings, 9 base hits, 6 earned runs. His last game was pretty alright, man. He went 9 base hit, 2 earned runs, so he got out of a lot of jams. Probably made a couple double plays, got out of that jam, and his offense backed him up. 11-3 win for him, and he got a good game against the Astros. It's probably best game of the season against a good lineup, and it was a 4-1 win. He's giving up runs against the White Sox. I just don't like what I'm seeing here from Paul Blackburn. Even more than Ross Stripling. Ross Stripling sucks so bad. I think we get over this total here. I think it's gonna be a steep total. No way. No way this total 7.5. No way. No way. That's that's a lock. And they're only minus 178. See, this is where I'm thinking the Houston Astros are gonna, or the Tampa Bay Rays were gonna open up at least minus 178. Like, just because Tariq Skuball's on the mound doesn't mean they're minus 145 now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I think we get over this total easily. Easily get over 7.5. I'm gonna lean with the over more than a side on that one. I don't care who wins that one. I just hope they get over. I know they get over that total, man. 7.5 with Ross Stripling. You're asking for your money to get took, man. That's gonna go over. San Francisco's gonna wake up against these weak guys. Terrible defense. And Oakland could put up some runs on Ross Stripling too. Oakland is not to be taken as a they're to be taken as a joke, but not a complete joke. They could put up runs and upset at times too. But yeah, I think the San Francisco money line and the over is at play. Next game we got Arizona at the Minnesota Twins. We got Riley Nelson versus Kenta Maeda. I'm not backing Riley Nelson ever. 4.8 ERA, 75 strikeouts, 1.39 whip. That whip's ugly. Um, 6 innings, 6 innings, 7 innings. 2-1 in those last three. Got a good win against Atlanta Braves, 5-3. Lost 10-4, 10-6 against the STL Cardinals. 7-2 loss against the Toronto Blue Jays. 9-0 loss against the Mets at home. It's not looking good, man. The lowest total of these last 5 games were a 7-point game in final innings. In extra innings. 16-point game, 9-point game, 9-point game, 8-point game. One strikeout, one strikeout, one strikeout. He got one strikeout in 3 of his last 5. At least one homer in all of his last 5. 2 homers in 3 of 5. He's giving up sharp contact. Riley Nelson, he's involved in a lot of overs. That the Sierra for that Arizona Cardinals bullpen is terrible. Now we all know how bad Minnesota's playing. Came off that terrible slump. Now they're on a 2-game winner streak. The August 4th, they just came off a 3-2 win against these guys. It was like a back and forth game. Either team could have won it, but Twins got it done late at home with that crowd. They're still first in the AL Central. You could see the last couple games. They went on a terrible streak right here against the Royals and the Mariners. But they've been putting up slight decent numbers though. 7 runs and a loss, 7 runs and a loss, 5 runs and a loss. 7 runs and a loss. You know what I'm saying? Like, haven't put up zero in the last 4 teams they've played. Like they haven't put up zero. So the Twins are gonna put up runs against Ronnie Nelson, and the Diamondbacks are gonna put up runs against them. I think the overs at play more than anything. I'm gonna take the over. They're coming off a 3-2 game. Now they're throwing those 8 cards and 6 cards out. No aces on the mound. 2 scrubs. Not dormant offenses, but 2 good offenses who can get the board lit versus 2 scrubs. Kenta Maeda is not good. He's alright. He's serviceable. He can look good at times, but he's not good overall. 2-6 at his last 8 decisions. 4-5, 4.5 ERA, 65 strikeouts. Yes, he has been winning a lot of his last recent games. Seattle, Oakland, Kansas City twice, Seattle twice, and Oakland. Some of the weakest teams. Seattle's a good win though, but you know how dormant and inconsistent Seattle is. He gets a lot of strikeouts. That is one thing he's good at. 7 strikeouts, 8 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts, 9 strikeouts, 6 again. 2 earned runs, 1 earned run, 2 earned runs, 3 earned runs was the most he allowed in July. 3 earned runs. That's great numbers right there, man. Great numbers. 4-1 in July. But in April, he started off 0-4. Then he only won 1 in June. So up until July, he was 1-5. You know what I'm saying? 1-5 in his decisions. I just don't think that's somebody you should be backing. I don't care who it is. You shouldn't be backing a 1-5 guy. Now, a lot of these wins aren't even given to him because he didn't contribute enough to make the win be based off his play. That's why this win right here against the Kansas City Royals, that did go in the books as his win. This win didn't, and this win didn't. But that loss did. You know what I'm saying? So he's not really winning games because of him. When he's winning, it's because of his offense. It's showing up the other team. He's in the worst, probably the worst division there is. That's why they're still in first place. Cleveland's on their tail, only 3 games behind. Cleveland just took a hit on their roster, gave up Josh Bell and another guy to the Miami Marlins. I keep forgetting who else they sent over there, but it's another good hitter. Yeah, I don't think I'm picking a side on that one. I just think we get over the total. Let's see if we got a total listed. 8.5 all day long. Both teams got an even record coming in this one. It's really a 50-50 game, man. Pretty even pitching matchup, but I would say Arizona's got the better lineup a little bit, for sure. Slightly better. Slightly better pitcher for the starting pitcher. But overall, man, I just don't see it. 130 base hits, 75 strikeouts. It's going to be an over, man. The guy gives up tons of base hits. 19 homers for Ronnie Nelson. He's going to give up a homer damn near every game. I'll lean with the Minnesota Twins on the money line and the over. But I like the over more than anything. Over. Stab that over. Next game, we got Michael Kopech versus Noah Syndergaard. Now, this is going to be a controversial pick right here. As you know, Michael Kopech has been struggling. He started the year off good. Started the year off great. Everybody was on Michael Kopech, nuts. Oh, he's gonna be the White Sox ace. He's gonna be the guy on the mound for them to shut down teams. 1.14. I'm sorry, 1.44 WHIP, 109 strikeouts, 4.49 ERA, 4-10 record in his 14 decisions. Lose by all run lines. Whenever he loses by that run line. He only put up a good outing against the Mets recently. 6-2 win for him. 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, 7 walks, 5 walks. This goofy man. This dude has 7 walks. I didn't even know they would leave you in the game if you got over 5 walks, bro. He has more walks than strikeouts in 1, 2, 3 of his last 5 games. When you're throwing more walks than strikeouts, how can you back that? You feel me? 3 home runs, 1 home run, 1 home run, 1 home run, 2 home runs. I'm not backing this dude. And as much as it pains me to say, because we have Noah Syndergaard on the other side. Utterly awful. You feel me? Like, these guys are both utterly awful. 1-4 record in his last 5 decisions. 6.68 ERA. Only 38 strikeouts and a 1.38 WHIP. His last 5 games. Lose. All losses, man. He got acquired by Cleveland. Dodgers didn't want him no more. They tossed his ass out the curb. The last game he pitched fairly good. 5 innings, 2 base hits only, 1 run earned. That was a great inning for him. Great 5 innings for him. But as soon as he got out, they blew it quick. They blew it they blew that shit quick as hell. Instantly. Cleveland's only 2 games under 500. Coming in off a win. I think Cleveland gets their foot rolling here. I'll back Noah Syndergaard versus but damn, man. I'm gonna lean with the under here. I think that's a controversial pick. When we see, honestly, I can't even say the under, because these guys controls. Noah Syndergaard's control is much better than Michael Kopech's, but look at the base hits, though. Look at the earned runs, though. Now, you got some pitchers that get a lot of base hits, and then they turn double plays and get lucky and get rid of those earned runs or runs. They'll have 7 base hits and 2 runs earned, or 8 base hits and 3 runs earned. When he gets niggas on base, they're getting in. They're going home. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're scoring. It's not a lot of times where this guy Syndergaard gets him on base and gets him out of there, leave him stranded. He doesn't leave people stranded, man. He gets them home. I think we see an over here too, but like I said, with the depletions of both rosters, they just got Berger out of there on the White Sox, and I think somebody else. Berger just got out of there. Damn, who they at? No Berger. Look at this lineup. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who are we counting on? Vaughn and Luis Robert Jr. and Benintendi only? That's all we got. And then let's look at these Cleveland Guardians lineup. with no Josh Bell. Much better averages. 0 and 4 though. 0 and 4 though. But we got multiple guys with over 2 hits or 2 or more hits. 2 and 4, 3 and 4. Quan could get him a hit every so often. Ramirez is gonna be a great arm. Um, Naylor. I think they said their other guy, Josh Naylor, was out. Yeah, Naylor's not gonna be playing this next game. And Josh Bell's out. So both teams have lost hitters, man. Both teams in rebuild mode. It's just about which team do you think's better with both scrubs on the mound. Which team can outscore the other team? You got two bad pitchers on the mound. Which offense are you backing more? The offense who won 54 games? Let's go to this. Let's go to team stats. Which offense are you guys backing more? Look at all of the everything for the Cleveland is damn near better, except for strikeouts and slugging and homers. But look at these guys in their last five, both coming in 1 and 4 in their last five. Last time these guys faced off in a series, it's mixed results. They played 11 games. Chicago's won 6 of 11. But that was two totally different lineups. I think Noah Syndergaard wins this for him, man. And it might not even be because of Noah Syndergaard, but I think the bullpen over there on Cleveland is a little bit slightly better. I'll take Cleveland money line. I want to lean the under on a controversial pick, but I can't back the under with two scrubs like that who gives up that much base hits. But when you got a guy in Michael Kopech who's giving up more walks than strikeouts, I'm going to back the other team. I don't care if it's Noah Syndergaard on the other side. He's better than Michael Kopech right now. Next game, we're going to go with Cleveland on the money line. Next game, we got Pittsburgh, Milwaukee. Bailey Falter versus Corbin Burns. On this one, we seen the Brewers take an ugly loss last night against these guys. I backed the Brewers on the run line, and it was an 8-4 Brewers loss with Quinn Priester on the mound of all people. But it wasn't that big of a hit, like a head scratcher, but it was kind of. But you see these guys coming into this game. Milwaukee's at the top of the NL Central, 59-52, above the Cubs and the Reds. Two teams that's on their heels. So Milwaukee got a fire lit under their ass for this one. If they don't win this game, they're going to be probably second place because the Cincinnati Reds are on a 4-game losing streak. Imagine if the Reds were not on this 4-game losing streak. If they were just smacking the Cubs up instead of the Cubs smacking them, they would be in first place right now. So the Milwaukee Brewers know that. They're watching the standings just like we do. They're looking for playoff positioning. They don't want to be a wild card. They don't want to be, you know what I'm saying? Corbin Burns is coming into this one 9-6 out of his last 15 decisions. 3.44 ERA, pretty good. 136 strikeouts, pretty good. 1.05 WHIP, pretty good. And in his last 5 games, he's only lost two in his last three. I mean, his last five. He's beat Cincinnati twice and then lost one to them. But he's going pretty deep into ball games, man, giving his bullpen a great shot to come in fresh and strong, ready. He's not giving up a lot of runs, two or less, 13 strikeouts, 10 strikeouts, 6, 5, 6. His minimum is 5 in his last 5 games. Like, he's gonna give you good numbers. That's who we're backing today, man. Corbin Burns is better than Bailey Falter. I'm not gonna sit here and go over this guy that much, but we're gonna take a quick look at him. No wins, 8 base hits, 6 runs, 5 runs earned. Game before that, 4 runs earned. The game before that, 4 runs earned. 3 runs earned, but 4 runs total. 3 earned runs game before that. All losses. 3 walks, 3 walks. Same amount of walks as strikeouts. Same amount of walks, strikeouts. Even when he did have 7 strikeouts, no walks, that was a run line loss. I'm not backing this team up when this guy's on the mound. Who can? It's an easy, clear. Corbin Burns is better than him. And the Milwaukee lineup is better than them. Milwaukee's big favorites for a good reason. I'll back Milwaukee money line on this one. I don't really like the over because Corbin Burns could keep them boys scoreless, but I do like Milwaukee on the run line. I took them yesterday. They burned me, but I think they get it today. Definitely. Next game, we got Colorado at St. Louis. Ty Blatch versus Steven Matz. Steven Matz 2-7 in his last 9 decisions, 87 strikeouts, 4.06 ERA, 1.39 WHIP. But he's been winning his last 5 games. He's 4-1 against Nationals, 9-6 win. Cubs twice, won both games. Arizona, he lost 2. He's given the most up in his last 4 games. Last 5 games with 4 earned runs, and that was still a 3-point win. It's not giving up too much walks, not giving up too many homers. Good strikeout numbers. He's been pitching pretty alright as of late, man. Pretty good. Way better from the start of the season. That's why he has 6 losses and 2 wins. But let's look at Ty Blatch. Bullpen guy. He tried to get a 5-inning start last outing. It was a good look for him against the worst team in baseball. But before that, run line loss against Detroit. Run line loss. 1-point loss in extra innings. He pitched 3 innings, 2 base hits, 2 strikeouts. This bullpen is not that good on the Rockies. You know they give up a lot of runs. They're last in the NL West in a stacked division. They're 23 games under 500. I'm not backing them. They did come off of a good upset win last night, but I'm not backing them. I'll take Steven Matz on the money line. We got tickets as low as $6, guys. Get you a ticket for that one. Go back Steven Matz. St. Louis money line. I'm leaning over. I could see an over happening. But also, we're going to switch up to this one. We got an undecided for the Los Angeles versus Blake Snell. Blake Snell's coming in this one on a short leash. They only keep him really for 5 innings. He's been pitching pretty solid, though, not giving up a lot of earned runs. He's been giving a lot of walks, though. His control is terrible. He cannot control where he's aiming. His aim is off. He could get them strikeouts, too, some games, 9 and 7 and 11. But when you got as much When you got more walks than strikeouts, that's terrible. 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 Yes, you won against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I mean, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Yes, you won against the dormant New York offense, New York Mets, against Drew Peterson. Yes, you won that. Drew Peterson sucks. But when you go against the Phillies and a guy like Matt, no, that was Matt Strom's coming in as a bullpen. Let me see who started this game for them. Ranger Suarez. So you made Ranger Suarez look good. 4-point loss. Blake Snell's been getting lucky more so rather than skill in his wins. So I'm just gonna back the Los Angeles Dodgers on that one, money line. We gotta see who's pitching for them, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be somebody that's even, at least even, or a little bit slightly under him, who's still probably like a even pitching matchup. I think the Los Angeles came to play. I think we get another over here. I think we get a fairly high scoring game here, regardless of who's on the mound for LA. Unless it's an ace, of course, but I don't think they're gonna throw an ace against him. Um, Angels versus Mariners last game. Angels have gotten to this little slump that I've expected. I thought they were gonna go in this slump way earlier, but they've actually surprised after Mike Trout's got hurt. They've been barely losing. Look at their wins and losses over there on the left side. They've been barely losing, man. But they're finally on this 4-game slump. They've been scoring numbers though. They haven't put up 0 runs in I don't know how long. Since damn, they haven't put up 0 runs since 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 different series they haven't put up 0 runs. So it's always a good bet when you could bet the over with the Angels. Mariners, on the other hand, they're kind of more inconsistent with scoring, but their pitchers are their defense first team. I like the Mariners on this one as well. George Kirby versus Tyler Anderson. I just like George Kirby a little bit more than Tyler Anderson, man, and that's how we're gonna wrap it things up. George Kirby's 9-8 in his last 17 decisions. Last 3 games pitched good. Run line covers in all 3 games. Before that, he did have a clunker against Detroit, but I just think he's just pitching much better than Tyler Anderson. Let's look at Tyler Anderson really quick. Five and 2 in his last 7 decisions, 5 ERA, 80 strikeouts. Last 2 starts, 4 earned runs, 1 earned run. It's a good outing last out against Toronto Blue Jays, but before that, he's high scoring games, man. I just think they get over that total again. And that's gonna wrap it up for the August 5th, Saturday. Be sure to leave a comment. Leave me your parlay, your best underdog of the day. Comment all of that right now. And we're going to keep stabbing the books, keep going over these in-depth MLB games. That's today's slate. Let's find the value. I'm going to give y'all a quick 3-leg parlay what I'm looking at. I'm looking to put Baltimore on the run line. Cleveland Guardians on the run line. Milwaukee Brewers on the money line. and the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa Bay Rays money line, man. Let's continue to stab the books, man. Beat the odds. Let's get it done.